Hello, my name is Chelsea Marks. At Friends of Felines, we're here to help as many cats as we can. We've got an inspiring rescue story for you about an absolutely adorable little orange and white kitten named Mason. He was a 4-month-old kitten and had fallen from a second-story balcony.
So Mason came to us as an owned kitty. They wanted us to check him out in our wellness clinic. After coming into our clinic to see the doctor, we immediately knew he needed immediate x-rays.
Sadly, the images revealed a severe fracture in his left leg with multiple fragments and dislocation. And to make matters worse, once we informed Mason's owners that he would likely need an amputation, they decided to surrender him because they didn't really want a 3-legged kitty. So not only did Mason need urgent surgery, but now he needed a new home. Even worse, while awaiting surgery, Mason's right hind leg also started to show signs of pain and was increasingly unstable. We determined that if we amputated Mason's left leg, he might have pain in his right leg for the rest of his life, and we couldn't do that to Mason. Instead, we immediately reached out for help to the OSU Lois Acheson Veterinary Hospital and their board-certified surgeons, Dr. Warnock and Sadness.
So that's ultimately, I think, how we got Mason on our radar, was Dr. Sapp and Chelsea Marks went ahead and reached out to us once they had recognized the severity of his injuries and kind of the complexity of the injuries.
Mason came to us and, super cute, active kitten, but definitely in trouble, having difficulty using his back legs and non-ambulatory. So we ran him through the CT scanner and we were able to localize the cause of the pain that he had in both back legs. On the left leg, he had a luxated hip, capital physeal fracture of the greater trochanter, and a severely displaced fracture of the distal femoral growth plate with a lot of new bone formation. And then the right side, he had a fracture of the ankle joint as well and sprain of the collateral ligaments of the ankle joint. So he was in a bit of trouble.
With our blessing, OSU immediately planned an extensive orthopedic specialty surgery on both legs for the next day.
We reduced the femur fracture near the knee joint first. And because that was displaced so badly that we felt that if we absolutely couldn't get that back in, that we'd convert to an amputation at that time. But we were able to get it back in and then move to the ankle and reduce that, place some pins to reduce the fracture. And then of course he spent several days in ICU post-op too, to keep him comfortable and happy and get him eating after surgery.
While Mason was at the OSU hospital, we also got some more good news. Mason had found his forever home.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Van Dyke and I work at Oregon State University Veterinary Teaching Hospital. I came into work one day and Mason was in one of the kennels and I walked in to say hi and he was purring and that was pretty much. So I'm sorry. And so I'm going to take Mason home once he is healed as my kitten. Right now I'm fostering him.
Marilyn is one of our technicians and her job is to be the TLC fairy around the hospital. Like literally her job is to go around and make sure that all the animals are happy and loved on and have fresh fuzzy warm blankets. And Mason's a sassy little orange and white boy kit. And they're perfect for each other. And she fell in love with him, and I could just see it in her face.
Sorry, I love him.
During recovery, Mason needed regular bandage changes at OSU, and as he progressed, he started putting weight on his legs and eventually got to spend 10 minutes a day outside of his crate.
Marilyn did reach out to us on Friday night with concerns that Mason had developed a seroma, basically like a fluid pocket under his skin. And then we saw him this morning to plan on doing some x-rays under general anesthesia.
He's pretty sleepy right now. He probably doesn't even realize what's going on, but
Loosen out around it, but it's so very badly defined.
And it's got a good callus, I feel like.
unfortunately, it looks like the blood supply never quite made it back on the left femur. And I think that's just because the joint was detached in two places and all the growth plates were disrupted. And in a bone, a lot of its blood supply comes in from the ends, and both ends were badly disrupted. And so the bone dissolved and has crumbled, and it's not going to make it. But because it was able to handle some of the weight-bearing forces, that allowed the right ankle to heal. And so that makes him now an amputation candidate. And so probably the best thing to do would be to amputate that left hind leg.
Dr. Sapp performed the amputation procedure, and Mason is now a recovering three-legged cat, affectionately known as a tripod.
So it's been 3 days since Mason's had his surgery, and he's recovering wonderfully.
I'm here to pick up Mason.
Sleeping away. Mason.
The saying I like to use is Mason landed butter side up. You know when you like butter your toast and then you bobble the toast and it lands, but it lands not with the butter on the ground, but butter side up. He landed in Shangri-La, and she loves him, and she does whatever he needs and gives him a lot of TLC, and their sassiness matches each other.
And I think that through the time and the commitment of not only Salem Friends of Feline and Marilyn and then the team here, I think that this is still as good of an outcome as we could have hoped. I mean, obviously we go in this business not just to save limbs, but save lives, and that's what I think the outcome was.
Hi, this is Mason. He's 4 weeks post-amputation, and he's doing wonderfully.
Stories like Mason's are the ones that keep us going. They remind us that we make a difference for so many lives and validates our mission to save cats and kittens from suffering and find them loving homes. Mason, we are so proud of you, and we're so glad that you came to Salem Friends of Felines.